All right, we're jumping in this morning. First of all, before we even get started, want to say happy Memorial Day today. We're going to talk about Memorial Day here in just a second. Rex and I were supposed to be on the patio this morning. Had these grand plans to be sitting out in the backyard with a hot cup of coffee with Rex this morning. Until I saw the forecast, and I was like, you know what? I do have a studio, so maybe I'll go in and take advantage of, the fact that I've got cover. Anyway, very good morning to you. 50 degrees right now and rain here in the Granite City of Barrie, Vermont. Should be tapering off. Just seeing here this morning to cloudy skies, mostly cloudy skies. Some sunshine. When I say mostly cloudy, I'm talking mostly cloudy, not cloudy. There's a difference. Mostly. Again, implying that there will be some sunshine today. 70 degrees, yes, that's a pretty nice temperature. I like that. Not too hot, not too cold. Tonight, cloudy and 51. Tomorrow is going to be a gem. Sunshine and 83 tomorrow. Wednesday, partly cloudy and 80. Thursday, cloudy and 63. I know, gosh, we're at a 20 degree swing here. It's crazy. Friday, kind of the same story as Thursday. And then this coming weekend, looking way ahead, and of course, things can change. Rain on Saturday, sun on Sunday. Birthdays today. We have Tracy Judd, Christine Babcock, Kathy Moland, Jeanette Chandler, Daniel Duffy, John Henry, Peggy Thompson, Heather Wagner, and Krista Emerson. Happy birthday to each of you. Name a song that you feel best represents your hometown. This morning. Got Montgomery Gentry. I see My Town dropped in there this morning. But do you have one? I would love to hear what that song would be. Already getting some traction on that one this morning. Community calendar. We've got some big news, and Rex has kind of his own set of big news, which he's going to be letting go with this morning, which is really, really cool. Something that is coming here to Central Vermont that, I'm going to let him tell you about it. I don't know if it's if it's officially launched yet, but I'm going to let Rex. He's going to get all the glory this morning for telling you about this, breaking the news. One of the big things that I want to share this morning, and this is kind of my big announcement, which I'm so excited about. And I know, JD, just get to it. The followers and fans over the last, I don't know how many years, 25 years, something like that. Long, long time. Of the Travis Mercy Skate Park fundraiser. You've been getting together, you've been firing up the snow machines, and you've been part of this every February for a long, long, long time. This past winter, it didn't happen for a number of logistical reasons. I was aware of it. Maybe you were aware of it as well. But this snow machine poker run has been going on for a long time and has supported the skate park in Barrytown for many, 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 many years. I have been in touch with some really powerful people here in our community. People that know how to get it done. Randy and Peggy Henry, Travis, or not Travis, Harry and Linda Mercy. That's what I'm thinking of. And a few others, part of the Freedom Vermont V-Twin Cruisers Motorcycle Club. They have decided that they are going to be putting together a motorcycle poker run for the Travis Mercy Skate Park fundraiser, which I'm thrilled about. I am so happy to hear this news and so excited, and I hope that you're going to just share the crap out of it. It is going to be amazing. It's in August. It's an 80-mile poker run, and they just kind of finalized this like last night. And I've been waiting to get on the air with this for a while. August 22nd. That's a Saturday. Registration is going to be at 8 a.m. Kickstands will be up at 9 a.m. The barbecue will be back at the picnic shelter at 1 p.m. Real simple. $25 per rider. That includes a huge barbecue from Randy Henry and his racing chefs. And man, when they do a barbecue, they do not fool around. Whew. You are not going to be leaving hungry, I guarantee it. If you want to be, if you're a non-rider and you want to do just the barbecue, it's $15. If you want to be a passenger on somebody's motorcycle, it's $15. Age 12 and under, $7. And there's going to be more details that are going to be coming in about this. The silent auction is going to be huge. Donations are being accepted right now by getting in touch with Linda Mercy, 279-7515. They are going to do the quilt raffle, which has been a tradition for a very long time. But that's it. August 22nd. Be on the lookout for it. It's going to be all over the Aired Out page. August is going to be an incredible month. There's a lot of stuff that I was looking at through the weekend for August and even September and even October. And I know you're like, JD, stop. Don't jump the guns here. Let's start with what's happening here and now. Today, we got the Heritage Festival to look forward to. Today being Memorial Day. I want to say, and I posted this last night, and I'm not sure if you saw it. It was pretty late last night that I got the word from the Barrie Area Veterans Council that they are going to be not having the Memorial Day parade today. However, you bet they're going to have the Memorial Day ceremony. This morning, 11 o'clock at the Barrie Elks indoors to commemorate this day and the men and women who died while serving in the United States Armed Forces. 11 o'clock, Barrie Elks. That's where it's going to be happening today. May 25th. Here's a couple things you may not have, you may not be aware of about Memorial Day, this important holiday today. There's a difference between the United States Armed Forces in general, which is what this day is about, and Veterans Day, which is set aside to thank men and women who have served, in the armed forces. But it's also a day, and I know that's primarily what it's supposed to be about. It's always observed the last Monday in May, which is today, May 25th. And some people get frustrated with that because they've got to work on Memorial Day. And they're not able to attend the parade or ceremonies that they would like to. And I know that I think it was Essex and a few other towns had their Memorial Day parade this past weekend on Saturday. And big respect to them for that. Barrie, in the Barrie Area Veterans Council, and I don't want to speak for them, but I've just heard them say this so many times, that they do this. They honor the men and women who died while serving in the United States Armed Forces on the 25th, which is the earliest that it can be Memorial Day. And I know it's supposed to be somewhere between the 25th and the 31st. But it's the 25th. And it is here in Barrie. And that's that. Originally called Decoration Day way back in the 1800s, and then officially became Memorial Day when I was a year old in 1971. And that is when we began observing it on the final day of, or final Monday of May. There's an exact moment of remembrance on Memorial Day, 3 o'clock p.m. local time, that we're supposed to pause and remember the brave men and women who died while serving our country. 3 p.m. And I just want to say thank you to the Barrie Area Veterans Council, which is our American Legion, our Elks Lodge, our VFW. There's a lot of members. They work hard. They volunteer a lot of time. They buy those flags, and they put those flags up on North Main Street. And they look beautiful. Looking outside the studio right now, one of them right here in front of me. I remember, as I'm sure you do, that there was a city councilor a couple of years ago. I don't need to be negative, but I just remember this one city councilor. Maybe there were two. Can't remember. Who was complaining that there were too many flags on Main Street in Barrie, that it was too overwhelming. Wow. I got to move along because that'll spike up the blood pressure, and I haven't taken my medication this morning. Speaking of the American Legion, tomorrow is the Tuesday night meal at the Legion. They do it every Tuesday. Dine in, take out. It's just $12. They serve it up starting at 5:30. If you would like a meal tomorrow, 479-9058. Please give them a call and let them know. 479-9058. And keep an eye on the Barrie Post 10 Facebook page and the World newspaper for the menu. I haven't seen what's on the menu yet. I'm sure it's on Facebook. But they always do the comfort foods like the shepherd's pie and, oh, God, it's so good. And here's the thing, your $12, that's all going to the American Legion. Which, by the way, their big kitchen rebuild is coming up on the 12th of June, just a couple of weeks away. I know you remember when the flood took out their kitchen. It kind of dampened the spirit a little bit over there. This was, you think of a kitchen. How important can a kitchen be? Oh my God, this kitchen was producing so many meals for so many fundraisers, including so many Thanksgiving dinners. And that flood of 2023 took it out. I mean, everything was damaged. Everything had to be gutted out of there. All the stoves, the ovens, the sinks, everything was trashed. The Barrie Area Veterans Council has been having meetings. They've been planning a big fundraiser. They have put a countless amount of time and effort into figuring out a way to raise funds for a new kitchen. And it is a big undertaking, but they're going to do it. The Sons of the American Legion, Squadron 10, and the Barrie Area Veterans Council is sponsoring this $100 Calcutta fundraising raffle to replace this kitchen. You've heard us talking about it. It is going to be Friday, June 12th at the Barrie Elks Lodge. And you can get tickets right now at Barrie Post 10, the Elks Lodge, 1535 right here in the Granite City, and the VFW Post 790. Or you can contact Bob Campo, who was on the air, Steve England, who was on the air a couple of weeks ago talking about this. It's going to be fantastic, and I hope that you will be there. So we got the meal at the American Legion tomorrow. Wednesday, we got Wing Wednesday at the VFW Post 790. They start serving up the wings at 5 o'clock. That's coming up this week. This weekend is going to be fantastic. And again, I was just glancing at the weather. Little bit of rain maybe on Saturday. Sunday, the better of the two, I think, is what they were saying. Let's just go back and double check. Yeah. Pretty good chance for rain on Saturday. Sunday, sunshine. That can change. If it does, it'll be, of course, in the way of improvement. But this weekend is really going to be fantastic. There's a couple of things that are really dependent on some good weather on Saturday. This coming, the final weekend of May. Barb's Poker Run will be going on over at Wilkins. Watch out for the bikes. Give them the horn and give them a wave, but please be careful. The Lions Club has got their coin drop on Saturday from 10 to 2 right out here on North Main Street. We got the car show at the Funny Farm, Route 302. Man, from 10 to 2. There's going to be a lot happening. Hoping to get my truck over there. But that's just this coming weekend. And those are just a couple of things happening right here in the immediate area on Saturday. In June, which is right in front of us, starting on Wednesdays, on the 3rd of June, Courier Park, we got the food trucks, the farmers market, the live music. That's going to be amazing. So I hope you'll grab a chair and a blanket and get the kids and maybe a Frisbee and get over to that on Wednesdays. Rex, good morning, buddy.
Yeah, why are you live already? You told me to be down in the studio at 9:30.
Yeah, so I start at 9 o'clock, buddy.
Yeah, but you told me to be there at 9:30.
Really?
Why would you do that to me?
Can you show me that text?
Yeah, I sure can.
You want to fight?
Yep.
You do?
I'm stopping and grabbing a coffee.
I'll fight you. I'll fight you right now.
So anyway, I'm coming down the hill, man.
Yeah, you show me that. You show
I was
me.
scheduled for 9:30
Yeah,
today.
right. Of course. Yeah, you show me that text before I choke you out.
Yeah.
Get your ass over here. I know you got some.
Yeah.
You got some really big news, don't you?
What's that?
You got some really, really big news to share.
I do. I was going to stop and grab a coffee, but I'm not. Seeing you've already started the live.
Don't blame that on me.
100% that's on you. I even sent you a text at 9:00 this morning. Said I'll see you there at 9:30. Did you not?
Yeah.
You not see that?
Yeah, because I was on the air, buddy.
Ah.
Yeah. I'm gonna
starting a whole podcast about me without me.
I'm gonna choke
That's
you
wild.
out. I'm gonna choke you out after I bitch slap you. You watch. It's coming.
I am coming down there just to slap you now.
The door's unlocked. I'm ready.
All right, my man. I'll come in the back door. I am coming down Quarry Hill right now.
Yeah. I've heard it many times that Rex is a backdoor man. What else do we have going on? What was it? The big thing? Oh, God. Friday, the 5th, is the 30th annual Hospice Memorial Golf Tournament hosted by the Central Vermont Home Health and Hospice. This is going to be an incredible day on the course with family, friends, coworkers, what have you, supporting an amazing cause. We're talking 10,000 visits just last year that Central Vermont Home Health and Hospice made to the 23 towns that they serve. This Memorial Golf Tournament is massive. 30 frickin' years that this has been happening. Country Club of Barrie, Friday, June 5th. I'll be there. Par sponsor, aired out. Going to be there mingling with people. Going to be enjoying the lunch. Going to be sitting and enjoying a cold drink. But I absolutely, positively, without question, will not be playing golf. And as I said to Emily McKenna, the last time I played golf was 30 years ago, and it was mini golf. So please, I wouldn't even know how to swing a golf club, and I just had a shoulder replacement. So that's not happening. But I will be there laughing and having fun and taking many pictures and streaming live and all that stuff. That is the 5th of June, a Friday. Yes, I said I would talk about this on the air, and I'm going to do it right now. The Barrie City Middle School Spring Concert is the 4th of June. I've got it on the aired out page, and I'll continue to push that. The Upper Valley Adult Daycare Enchanted Garden, their 4th annual senior prom fundraiser, is happening on Thursday the 4th at the Queechee Inn. I've had them on the air talking about it. And I'll be continuing to push that and tickets if you can get out and support them. Let's see. We talked about Courier Park starting on June 3rd, running all the way to September. The food trucks, the farmers markets, the live music. What else? Oh, the Stephen Tracy Memorial Ride and Poker Run at the Den. That'll be on the 6th of June. That's a Saturday. I'm telling you, if you haven't started planning out your calendar yet, you need to be paying attention and start writing some of these things down because there's so much that's going on. 10 a.m. is the registration. 11 o'clock is the ride. I got it right here in front of me. $10 per driver, $5 per passenger. Proceeds are going to benefit a Williamstown student going into the workforce. The other big ticket item is every Sunday starting on the 7th of June. the Berlin Mall is hosting a food truck festival from noon to 7, starting on the 7th and going every Sunday through the whole summer. If you would like to be a vendor, 272-1066 is the number to call. That's Annie up at the mall. Annie Riley. John Kidder is saying June. This is what I love. When people would tell me stuff that I'm not familiar with, June 13th from 8 to 1 is the Worcester Bottle Drive for the 4th of July fireworks. Is there a town that puts on more of a badass fireworks show than Worcester? Let me think. Nope. John, thanks for letting me know about that. June 13th. I think that's Saturday? 8 to 1 Bottle Drive, 4th of July fireworks in the town of Worcester. Let's see. What else did I want to tell you about? We talked about the Berlin Mall Food Truck Festival, which, my God, everybody's freaking out about that, like big time. JD, where exactly in the parking lot is it going to be, and what time is it? From noon to 7. Noon to 7. July, and I've been asked a couple of times, JD, in July, will you be talking about the Lake Maury Summer Concert Series? Yes, I will. Not only will I be talking about it, but I'll probably be attending every single one of them and live streaming. I'm so excited about them. And they're free. One of the really big things, and I haven't met Chris yet over at Upper Valley Cars and Coffee, but I look forward to it. It is happening. It is officially happening Sundays, July 12th. I think it's like this second Sunday of every month, if I'm not mistaken. Entry is free. Donations are welcome. I'll be there streaming live. We'll give you the Venmo. But this is a chance for you to get together, show off some amazing vehicles, have some fresh coffee, some great conversations, some feel-good vibes. Upper Valley Cars and Coffee. Why haven't you followed them on Facebook yet? You ought to. Powerhouse Mall is where the first one's going to be on Sunday, July 12th. Here he comes, Rex Thompson. Show me the text where I told you to be here at 9:30.
When I called you this morning at 9.
When you called me this morning at 9, and you know that at 9 o'clock in the morning, that's when I'm live.
It's Memorial Day. No, we were doing this. This was a special. You weren't even going to be on air today.
Yeah, well, we were talking.
So
about...
why would you do an on air without me when it's supposed to be about me?
It's not supposed to be about you.
It's 100% about me. You weren't even having a show today.
I was.
No, you weren't.
I was. I was gonna have an episode out on the patio
at your house.
Yeah, my house.
100%.
And then I decided not to
because it's raining.
Because of the rain.
Can you hear me? Testing.
We
1,
can.
2, 3.
And then
Perfect.
I said, meet me at the studio.
Yeah.
You show me where it says meet me at the studio at 9:30.
9:30.
See, you know I didn't say that. You know I didn't. What happened was
this was an impromptu show.
Let me tell you what happened. You stayed up late last night because you were watching something with Brenda, and you overslept this morning. What was it that you were watching with Brenda last night?
Not at all.
Tell me what you were watching.
Not at all. I was actually up at like 4:30,
Was it Say Yes to the Dress?
This morning.
Were you watching Say Yes to the Dress?
I watched none of that. You and Brenda and you guys watch those weird shows.
Were you watching Love Actually?
I have no clue what that is.
Yes, you do.
You guys were talking about it when you were at my house. You watched that Love
It
on the Spectrum, all that stuff.
Love It First Sight.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, actually, I didn't sleep the night before. I didn't really get a lot of sleep in, and then I had the Sig Sauer thing yesterday. I went down to 6 Hour.
Yeah, can you tell
trained
us
there,
about
rode my motorcycle, got turned all around up inside of there.
Oh, with the GPS and all that?
Yeah, I was on a motorcycle for like 7 hours
what
yesterday.
What is 6 Hour? What is that? What is that?
Wow, if you don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, so 6 Hour is a pew company.
Okay, thank you for saying that.
Yep, they're a high-end pew company.
Mm-hmm.
They have government contracts. They've taken over all the government contracts for the weapon systems for the government. They just landed all the ammunition deal for 100 years. There's been an ammunition company out in Ohio that's had the military contract, and SIG just landed it.
Okay.
So they just retrofitted another company. They have a bunch of. So where I went was the Self-Defense Training Center. It's also their showroom where it's their museum, their showroom.
Where's that?
Epping, New Hampshire.
Okay.
So, as you know, I train up at United Fighting Arts Institute. Sorry, hang on. Now that she's gone and explored, probably shit somewhere. She ready to be back in my lap. So anyway, you just get right there. So the training center down there, I train up at UFAI, and one of the black belts up there was Gavin Wageman. Gavin Wageman took a job with SIG and convinced SIG. He's the founder of the self-defense training center down there for the jiu-jitsu program.
Really?
So, yeah.
Now, wait a second. Didn't you do this a while ago, like a couple of years ago or something?
Me and Ed went down when he first started running it. We went down and did some training with him and met all of his guys down there. Yeah, he always has high-level people there because it's 6 Hour. They're a billion-dollar corporation.
Okay.
So, these are names you wouldn't know and a lot of your listeners wouldn't know, but like Gordon Ryan, Hoist Gracie. There's an old one from the USC. Hoist Gracie was there last week teaching classes on self-defense.
Wow.
Jiu-jitsu. Yeah, 100%. I was down there. Ryan Fennelly was there. Ryan's the head of the New Hampshire Athletic Commission.
Okay.
He runs all the MMA shows and stuff like that, the boxing. In the state of New Hampshire.
Freaking awesome.
It was just really good to connect with all of those people, and we laughed about it. The interview we did, I did use microphones, but it picked up a bunch of background music, so my daughter is trying to get in there and remove as much of the background as you can because it was such a great interview.
It's not easy to do that.
No, it's not. So I apologize. I'm new with the whole microphone thing. But that was the founder, was Gavin, and his instructor. So the easiest way to explain it was Grandpa, his kid, and his grandkid. And I'm the grandkid, believe it or not. So Gavin got his belt directly under Mike Desrosiers.
Yep.
I got my belt under a guy that got his black belt from Mike Desrosiers. So I'm like the grandkid, and Gavin's the kid, and old Mike D is the grandpa, which is, you could tell when you roll with him.
Did you say old Mike D?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. You should see the way he rolls. He rolls like an old grandpa too, because he just lays there and fends off your attacks until you're tired of trying to beat on him, and then he just submits you. Or like me, I just get up and go, you win, walk away. Don't ever give him the satisfaction.
Really?
I was hanging on trying to sink this Darce yesterday. Anaconda. And he fought it for so long, and then finally I was like, you win. I just got up.
Well, you want to get up and walk away so you don't hurt him. You know what I mean? Because that's not.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
I want you to tell everyone the big news.
Okay. So a lot of people follow me anyway, and they follow Aired Out, but they've been seeing it, and it kind of got to the point where I talked about it, and it went from talking to becoming real very fast. So then I was forced to either shit or get off the pot kind of thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
You had a vision. You had an idea.
Well, it kind of got pushed onto me. And I've always wanted I need a purpose. I got to have a purpose in life. Otherwise, you just sit on your couch, get fat, let your arteries harden, and die. You know, that's a cycle. So I needed to find a purpose. But one thing that happened, I think every single thing in your life happens for a reason. Whether you want to believe it's religion, whether you want to believe it's quantum physics, if it's religion, that it's your fate. Your fate is already written. If it's quantum physics, that just happens to be the parallel universe you're living in. So, either way, I don't care how you believe. I believe everything happens for a reason. The ripple effect, I believe in all of that. So I got contacted by someone from Washington County Mental Health. I used to do private lessons at the former gym I used to train at. So they reached out directly to me because one of the kids I used to train, he specifically asked for me. I'm not trying to snipe anybody.
No, I know
that's not. We're not starting any gym drama. None of that shit. I wasn't. They reached out to me. This kid specifically asked for me, and I was like, wow, that's really cool that I had an effect on a kid where he would reach out to me and ask for training. So we started a program with Washington County Mental Health, and they hire me to do private lessons with teenagers that are, I don't want to say troubled teens because that just doesn't sound right. They're just teens going through some tough times right now.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And we've heard there's kind of a go-to thing that kind of drives me nuts. But
I was a troubled teen.
Well,
and so when people say that, oh, he's a troubled teen, it gives you that look. You're like, a troubled, you know what I mean? Well, and I had it on my advertising, and someone from Washington, they mentioned it. I was like, I didn't think about that. But as soon as I say, hey, I'm working with a group of these troubled teens, everybody has a perception of these kids already.
The other two words are at risk. An at-risk teen. But my God, we're all at risk.
Yeah, I'm at risk every day that they let me out into the public.
This is true. But no, seriously.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, oh my God, what teen is not at risk right now?
Right. So this kid was struggling, and you saw him. I did a podcast with him live, not last Wednesday, the Wednesday before. He had an engagement, so we weren't able to do our lesson this Wednesday, but we'll be back on this Wednesday. And he's the one I taught the jump spin back kick to.
Yeah.
So
that was pretty cool. I did see that, and that was pretty cool.
Okay. Sorry, I got distracted. I thought someone was going to try to get in here, and we were going to be fist fighting two dudes right out there. But no, they look like they want to stay away. So anyway, and I saw, I sat down and I worked with this kid, and I made an impact. I have no clue what that ripple effect will be in his life.
Yeah.
But I saw an impact. I made an impact. The kid he had some issues. He had some problems. He had some real problems. And he didn't want to talk about it. Didn't really want to. They'd been trying to get it out of him, and he just doesn't want to talk. Well, when you're a boy and you have that much energy, the last thing you want to do is sit down with your mom or a counselor and talk about your feelings when you have all of this energy. And I know this as a kid that used to sit in counseling. So it doesn't work that way. So I actually got this idea from Websterville Baptist Christian School. None of them, when my kids went there, none of them were on ADHD medicine. During the spring, the summer, the spring months and stuff, when it's starting to dry, the kids would get super hyperactive. What do? They shut down all the books. They say, all right, everybody up outside right now. And they have them kids do laps and laps until they get all that energy out. Then guess what? They can focus. They come back in. They're relaxed. They can talk. So I use that business model with Jacob. We don't talk about anything. When Jake gets there, my buddy Jake, when he gets there, it's jumping jacks, it's push-ups, it's running in place, it's jumping rope. After that, then we're going to do some cardio rounds of boxing on there. He is going to be really good and tired by the time we start the instruction. And then we work on simple things, but we work on it. Doing it over and over and over, so it becomes a muscle memory.
Yep.
And then I throw in some cool shit with him, some wrist locks, just some really cool throws to keep him excited about it. Sure. But then at the end of it, then we could talk.
Yeah.
Because now we're like, there's not that pent-up energy. There's not, like, you ever notice when you get into a confrontation with somebody and you're just so worked up over it? Now think about it if you went out, ran a marathon, and came back to that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
How would that conversation go at that point?
A little bit more relaxed, probably.
Right. So now, and this is where I saw the change. He initially came because he had a real grievance with a kid that was bigger than him. And he had one purpose, and that was to be able to fight this kid. And so a couple weeks into it, because I talk to him a lot, man. And
you said purpose.
Yeah. Yep. So, I talk to him. We sit down and we talk, and it's really hard to get him to open up. And, we talked about his friend who's no longer here and what she would want from him. And I was like, do you think that she would want you to be successful? He's like, 100%. She was my biggest cheerleader. I was like, okay. So the path you're going right now, is that leading you towards success? So how are you honoring your friend by being a shitty person? Is that what your friend would want while you're alive? No. Then why are you using that as an excuse? I had a shitty life.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you certainly understand where this guy is coming from. You understand, you understand how he feels.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I was in high school, just look at, I can name, there was Sean Majors, there was Angel Melendi, Sean Majors. There was Dwayne Tucker's brother. This was all while I was in high school. We were losing people and it was to DUI accidents. They were crashes. We were all going out. We were doing the same exact thing you guys are doing. It was just a different drug. That's all it was.
Yeah.
So we were losing our friends in DUI accidents. It seemed like every weekend there was a high school remember they used to bring the crash things to the schools and stuff because it got so bad. Now it's every weekend it's a fentanyl overdose. It's the same thing. It's an addiction. It's a drug. It's kids finding things to do with their time. That's it. So like I explained to Jake, and when we sit around and our parents are both working, let's face it, our system has forced us. We no longer, unless you build a homestead and keep your family together, both parents are working, your kids are in school, your kids have influences all day long. Your kids are they're influenced by a teacher they like. More likely, they're influenced by friends. Sure. That kid's really cool. A lot of people talk to him. Why is that? Well, he's over there smoking a cigarette. He's got Percocets. No, he's the cool kid. I want to be the cool kid. Okay. So,
yeah, I want you to get to what you're starting here because this is really because I want you to get into some details of this.
100%, and I want to do that. No, they're not mentally there. So that's where this started coming about. And I was like, man, I made an impact within just a few weeks of working with Jake. How can I make an impact on more local kids? What can I do? Most parents can't afford the gear. That's the biggest expense when it comes to a kid.
Sure.
You got his gear. You go to the new martial arts school. Sure. It's only $120 a month. That's not too bad. But then you got to buy the gi. You've got to buy the shin pads, the gloves, the mouth guard, the rash guard. You got to get a t-shirt. You got to get a sweatshirt. So right there's $400, $500, $600. Just boom.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
So it's just like hockey parents understand this.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Football parents understand this.
Hockey's crazy, man.
Yeah, oh I know. My son did that. I was so glad when he quit. Them 5:30 practices my gosh. So I got with Ed Collins, my best friend. He shout out to Ed. So I got with him and I asked him if I could use his Brooklyn Street Brawlers gym on Wednesday nights to do a program for that. And I was like, I'm thinking 10 kids. And we went in there and he's like, nope, 6 is the max. I was like, fair, very, very fair. Because Ed will help me with instructing these kids. And Ed's a Just a great mentor. He really, really is. So, I asked him, I was like, can we, he's like, fuck yeah. You know, if you're doing something positive out of my gym, I'm all for it. 100% all for it. So now it's an idea. I'm like, sweet. So where do we go from here? And then Patty O'Neill was like, hey, I'll start fundraising for you. I was like, you would help me with that? She's like, absolutely. This is a great cause. She goes, you need a 503c corporation. I was like, all right, I've ran a couple of those.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, I went right on the state website and I entered in the name. Well, first I went on to AI and I was like, I need to come up with a name, and I can't. And me and Brenda mulled it over. I had some cool names and stuff like that. So we agreed on a name with Resilient Defense Institute. So I filed. I went onto the website. Onto the OPR, and I filed for articles of incorporation for a nonprofit. 2 days later, it was approved. I got my nonprofit number. So now I have an actual nonprofit. The next step was to find a sponsor, start fundraising money, because we have to get a gi, we have to get shin pads, boxing gloves, mouth guard, rash guard, and then as a bonus, we want to get them a custom t-shirt, sweatshirt, and duffel bag.
Yep.
So just for 6 kids, it's almost $3,000. Just to do the 6 kids, not to buy anything else. Yeah. So I reached out to Fuji Sports. The very next day, Tom from Fuji Sports in their custom department, he's like, give me a couple days to get back to you. He goes, I'm very interested in helping you out. I was like, anything you could help out with. I was just asking for a simple white basic gi, just so we could, each kid. So it didn't matter when they left, they would have their gear, and it would be, nothing. It would have no names on it. They'd be ready for any gym they went to.
Sure.
So probably 4 days later, Tom reached back out and he said, sorry it took so long. We want to sponsor we'll sponsor you. I was like, okay, well, now I don't want to seem greedy. I don't want to, but also the salesman in me is go for the max and hope for the best and take whatever you can get. But I also don't want to seem like a greedy prick trying to get everything out of this big corporation, whatever. Well, he came back. He's like, no, we'll supply everything. Please give me a list of every single thing that you need. And I was like, everything? And I gave him the list, and he's like, I'm authorized to cover 6 kids for all of their gear, everything that they need. So I was like, okay, well, now I need 6 fucking kids. Because things are moving so fast. This is just in a matter of just a couple weeks. I'm like, I went from an idea to having a nonprofit, to having a sponsor, and having a place to do it. So I've gotten rid of all the roadblocks.
Well, you got Jake, though, right?
Yeah, Jake's during the day. I take care of Jake during the day. And Jake's going to be my assistant because he's been through it with me. So Jake's going to be...
So he's not one of the 6 then?
No. He's going to be one of the Ukis, one of the helpers. He's going to be helping out because he's like a mentor himself now.
Dude, this is amazing.
So, but the possibilities are endless to reach so many kids. So I reached out. I wanted to go through an entire application process and interview parents and stuff like that. But at this point, I own a couple businesses. I'm doing private lessons. I'm training. And to add that one more thing to it is such an ADHD thing to do. And I had to stop myself. I was like, wait a minute, because the lady at Washington County Mental Health, she goes, I could have you 6 kids by next week. Mm-hmm. I was like, let's do that and get the program started so people can see what it's about. Yep. I had some people reach out, but they happened to be up in Warren. So that gave me another idea. I was like, wait a minute. I'm going to do this for the local kids right now for me. But there's no reason I can't branch out up to Linden Mill and get a hold of one of the jiu-jitsu black belts up there and say, hey, how do you feel about doing a 6-week program up there for your local kids that are at risk? You know,
right.
That's what I told the lady. I was like, give me your worst. I want your worst kids. I want your kids that are me.
Yeah. And you know that there's a there's a couple of schools in our area that are designed just for
100%.
Just for young adults and teenagers.
It's good to see the system not failing the kids. The system failed me.
Yeah. Dude, you're onto something that could be
oh my God,
huge.
The guys at SIG, Ryan Fennery, they were so on it.
Yeah.
Wow. I've gotten so much support, so many people reaching out. The next steps are going to be, we need to get volunteers together because we have to really start the fundraising so we can expand the program. The next program I want to do is for all girls. It's not going to be necessarily at risk, but it's going to be just for girls. Yeah. And it's going to be self-defense Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. 100%.
What's Crew and Deb saying?
Oh, they are so supportive. They are so awesome. Them, Mike D, Dennis Sherman, I can't say enough. They've just been super, super supportive through all of this. Of course, I'm still learning myself. So going up there and training with Mike D was like a huge eye-opener because he's a third-degree black belt. And, when you get to black belt, you're like, not much that I don't know already. Well, no, it's actually, there's so much it feels like starting all over again, like right at the beginning. But it's really cool. I really enjoy the journey. And like I said, they've been so supportive of us. Just to the point, like yesterday, I had one of the parents reach out and they were like, I was really hesitant. My son's been struggling for a while. And I was really hesitant of any type of martial art or anything like that. But she goes, they told me it was you. I've known the parents since they were a baby. I've known the parents when they went through their own addiction problems. And I've seen and now what's happening, and she feels so bad about it, is because now her kids are paying for her mistakes. Mm-hmm. Her son was, and I'm not even going to say the sport or anything like that, but her son, the biological father got arrested. He had stolen something again. He's in a full-blown addiction right now. And so there was an article on Facebook. The kid walks into the locker room and all the kids are like, hey, why don't you ask so-and-so about his dad? So these kids are now paying for the mistakes that their parents made.
Yep.
The kids don't deserve it. They didn't do none of that shit. They didn't ask for it.
Understand.
So
I'm just clicking some buttons here to get your your stuff up on the is there a Facebook page?
Not yet. So that's all going to come out next week. We're going to have our website will be up and running. Taylor's been working double duty with the Donnybrook stuff to get all of our sorry, there's kids outside. I can't not. They're little. So Taylor, she's been working double duty trying to get all of the replays out for Donnybrook, and she's also building my website so that we'll have a donation page, because ultimately our goal is to have a permanent training facility.
Yeah.
That's where we want to go. We want to specifically work with at-risk teens, use martial arts. And so some of the things, the lessons that we'll be teaching, not only about basic self-defense, blocking, striking, kicking, but also here are some red flags. These are, if you have an instructor that seems bothered by you being there, go somewhere else. If they don't know your name within the first month and they're happy to see you when you come in, go somewhere else. When you're in combat sports or wrestling, judo, boxing, MMA, anything like that, it's a grind. It's really, really hard. You have to surround yourself with people you enjoy to be around. Find your community. I do not join the first gym that you go to. Check them all out until you find a place that feels like home. That's really, but there's other red flags. There's other things that make a gym a toxic place. And when you're in a toxic place like that, you'll bring those things home and they'll affect your relationships at home. Just like anything in life. Like me and Ryan talked about this weekend about bringing jiu-jitsu, how we can apply jiu-jitsu in our normal life. Like that's what me and Ed do on Sundays, sermons on Sundays.
Yeah.
We go up there, we fist fight, and then we talk about it. How did this fist fight, how can we relate this to our lives, our real lives? And what did we do bad that relates to our lives? Like, did I pressure that guy too much and that's why I got the stiff jab to the nose? Well, how do I turn that to relate in life? Did I pressure something that wasn't supposed to happen and then I was fed the consequences? So as long as you relate everything to in a good way, like Tom Murphy. Dude's a legend.
Yeah.
How many people has he reached out and touched? I'm at the age now, I've done so many shitty things in life that I tormented this community at one point in my life as a kid when I was younger. So I'm looked at it in certain people's eyes in a certain way. Some people see me in a positive way. Some people see me in a super negative way. And I've earned both of those from those people. That's who I was at the time when they knew me. That's not who I am now. That's every single day I have to choose to be a better person. Ed beats that into me every single day. Every day.
Yeah. I love this, man. I love hearing this. So when is
next Thursday, this Thursday, I'm going to be interviewing the kids. I have the 6 kids already, and I'm going to start interviewing.
This coming Thursday?
This coming Thursday. They have me in office up at the Williamstown High School. I'm going to interview the kids. At that point, I'm going to get their sizes and get all of their gear ordered. I should have their gear within 2 weeks. And we're going to start training.
This is age 12 through 16?
Yep. Well, age isn't as important as their needs. If there's a 17-year-old kid that needs it, so be it.
6-week martial arts program.
Yeah, this is just this 6-week program. And we can only fit 6 people in there at a time, 6 kids at a time. So the next program may be different ages. It may be...
It's not just self-defense, though. You guys are sitting down and having
we're going to do
conversations.
I'll go right through the training regimen. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit right there. We're going to do a workout. They're going to do jumping rope, jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups. You'd be surprised. These young kids can't do 30 push-ups. They're going to learn to do 30 push-ups. Every kid in there is going to do 30 push-ups by the end of this.
2 hours each week?
2.5 hours.
Damn.
So we're going to go from 5:30 to 8. So from 5:30 to 7:30, that's 2 hours of training. They are going to do some pad work, mitt work. That's the other thing we need. We need some mitts. Anybody wants to donate mitts, pads, especially thigh pads so we can kick them. We need 3 sets of those. Fairtex thigh pads.
Okay.
So
will Fuji come through for you for that?
I don't know. I don't want to ask for any more. I feel really like Fuji has been, we're talking like $3,000 that they just coughed up for us in gear.
Okay.
So I may hit someone up. Maybe I'll hit up Fairtex. I don't know. But
okay.
So, we're going to interview them. I'm going to get there. And then the classes start, like I said, we're going to do a warm-up. There will be a warm-up. They're going to move. They're going to trimp. They're going to do jumping jacks. They're going to do break falls. They're going to do all of that good shit. Then they're going to learn to block. That's the first thing. They're going to learn defense. The next thing you're going to learn is offense. They're going to learn a cross, a jab cross, hook, and an uppercut.
You got to make sure that these kids are, like you say you're going to be interviewing them, that they're really committed to this. That they
100%. So that's why I interview them. I want to know a little bit about them. I need to know if they had any traumas, what we need to look out for. I want to personally know each one of those kids,
yeah.
so that I know them. And that's another thing that I took from the Websterville Baptist. they personally knew every kid that went in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Kidder Interiors they want in.
He's actually up on one of my jobs right now. Oh, matter of fact, we're going to get his guy Kidder up there to your house so we can get your house finished.
What?
Yeah, we're going to start getting that knocked out. I'm trying to get caught up on everything, man. It's hard going from 13 guys down to just 3 of us. But we'll get you squared away, too, this summer.
Shit, dude.
So, yeah.
Rex, this is really awesome.
I think it is. I feel like it is. It feels good.
It's fantastic, dude. Let's say this. I'm going to show the graphic again on the page here.
We also need a T-shirt sponsor, sweatshirt sponsor.
There it is.
Yes.
If you see this on the Donnybrook Fight Promotions page, if you see that, look at your monitor right now. If you see this on Rex's page, if you see this on Aired Out, if you see this on John Kidder's page or anyone's page, Ed Collins, whoever, share the crap out of it.
No, I appreciate that.
I mean, this is...
The website will have a donation button on it, so people will be able to personally donate, even $5-10. You'd be surprised, man. We can get that because the more money we get just constitutes more kids that we can reach. There's an actual balance to it. Money equals kids.
I hear something probably every 2 weeks of my life from someone in this community, and it's always the same thing, and it's a repeat. And I have to close my eyes and say, oh, here it comes. I'm going to hear it again. And this is what it is. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Kids have nothing to do around here. We need a teen center. We need a roller skating rink. We need an arcade. We need some outlet, some place to go for teens in our community to have fun, let off a little steam, have a good time. The winters are long. Get them indoors. Get them outdoors.
Yep. So the problem is it's hard to get parents. It's hard to get parents to dedicate to it. Kids are always willing to dedicate, but who gives them a ride? Who gets them there on time? I can remember.
There's a teen center in Bradford every day. Jammed.
It's probably within walking distance to everything. That's why I like the gym down on Branch Street.
It is.
Or Brooklyn Street. I like that gym because all the kids could actually walk there if they wanted to.
It's just really cool, dude.
I think so.
I
never had that. So I didn't have that opportunity when I wish I had. You know,
right.
We had to go to grimy, I don't want to say boxing gyms. They were fight gyms.
Yeah.
You went in there day one. They didn't care. Throw some headgear on. Let's see what you got. Boom. And you were just fighting. You know, you didn't have anybody. Why are you angry? Let's get it out. You want to punch me? You can punch me.
Yeah.
We could do that in here.
Yeah.
You know, nobody does that. They want to talk it out. And I'm here to tell you as a troubled teen, that does not work. Me and Ed Collins have the best conversations.
Yeah.
After a couple hours of sparring. Man.
But it's only part of the equation, though. It's only a part of the puzzle.
Right.
That you guys have.
Why not get them? So if your kid already has an addictive personality, he's addicted to Xbox, he's addicted to whatever it is, his next addiction.
Energy drinks.
Right. His next addiction could either be martial arts or fentanyl. Choice is yours.
Or alcohol.
Yeah, back in my day, alcohol was that was it. We drank all the time. We drank in school.
Yeah, right.
It was...
Yeah.
So we've just changed our addictions. That's all.
Tell me about Art 8 Limbs. How was that in South Burlington?
The Art of 8 Limbs.
And what's coming? What's
Jiminy
coming?
Cricket.
And by the way, Glenn Brummert, who was not there, he was not there. Do you know why?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I went up to his house.
He freaking rolled his lawn tractor, dude. Couple hours before the fight.
Oh, that's not what he did. But he did hurt himself, and he couldn't get out of it.
He didn't roll his lawn tractor?
No, he got it stuck. He was trying to get it out, and he went rolling.
Well,
the tractor didn't.
Okay.
The tractor's fine.
What are you saying? I'm exaggerating?
The tractor's fine. It'll be okay.
The tractor's fine.
Glenn, not so much, but the tractor's fine.
My God.
Poor Glenn.
But hopefully.
Him and Kenny. That's why they get along. They both have the same luck.
I know.
We're going to call it the Kenny-Glenn luck.
And Kenny was in the hospital for our 8 limbs. Yeah.
They were taking
off
a limb.
They both were in the hospital.
They were taking off another part of his limb. That's what they were doing. They were,
so baby. It was a huge success.
Yeah. So that place, with the ring inside of there, they were so friendly. The setup was so incredibly easy. Like we back right inside of there. There's a big door where you can back right in, unload the ring right there.
Right there.
And then once the ring's up, we just walk away. They set everything up. We don't. And then we come back a little later and start the fights. The venue's beautiful. It's just state of the art. The lighting systems. We have all the stage risers for the cameramen. If anybody wants it, I'll put a. How about we have an exclusive viewing of the entire show on Aired Out next Saturday?
Can we do that?
Yeah, well, I'll post it. Next Saturday at 6 o'clock, we will post the whole live pay-per-view with the commentators, everything. And I'm not going to tell you how the show went. You guys can just see for yourself. Exclusively on Aired Out Saturday, this Saturday.
I saw new fighters, and I saw a lot of new faces, man.
Oh, my gosh.
A lot of new faces. And
you were there. I forgot.
And the military. I mean, my God.
The Honor Guard was there.
Look at that.
That was awesome. That was a lot of fun.
You're getting traction in the Champlain Valley now, which is big.
Yeah.
It's big. What about the next one? Kingdom Come.
Oh, September 5th. We've already started booking that one also. That is going to be MMA inside of a boxing ring. We're adding a 5th rope to it, and so it'll be down on the bottom. And then we put these special straps all the way around it so they can't come out of the ring. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a nice ring that we have.
Yeah, it is.
That's a super nice ring. And it looked good there, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
And the chairs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Comfortable.
Oh, just cushioned chair everywhere. The general admission all had cushioned chairs with cushioned backs.
And you know who I got to sit with? Patty O'Neill.
Oh, no way. And her daughter, Caitlin.
Yeah.
I take Caitlin up to...
Caitlin's cool as hell.
She is...
I mean, they both are. They both are.
She's got that awkwardness, so her humor is just hilarious.
Yeah.
It really is. She's a good kid. I like her. All right, she's really gotten into jiu-jitsu, too.
But Kingdom Come.
Yes. September 5th.
September 5th. Same place.
DoubleTree Inn.
Okay. Will there be rates for staying overnight?
Yes. So when you mention that you're coming up for the Donnybrook fight, it's $125 a night versus $500. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So, but it's just there's so much to do up there.
When's that going to be available?
Buffet. It's available. The hotel's not ready, not yet.
Okay.
Set because so we're still working logistics with the hotel. There was some hiccups with their charging system. Some people got charged that weren't supposed to. So they're still trying to work through that system. But once that's down, that was really the only hiccup.
Okay.
That was the most relaxing fight we've ever had. That was so many people inside of there for our first show in that area was insane. The amount of people that were there.
You should be proud of yourself, man. You've worked so hard on this. And Taylor.
Actually, that was 98% Taylor right there.
You guys,
I landed the sponsors though with the military. Yes, we got other military coming.
As you're well accustomed to, though, the last minute, which is really like the last week or so, stress of fighters getting injured and the card getting adjusted. That's part of being of fight promotions coming.
I used to panic. I'd be like, oh, but now you see it. Like the days of having 18, 19, 20 fights, those were ridiculous. By the time you got to the 13th fight, you were so drunk and you would leave. Like that place, by the time it got to the main event, would be empty.
Really?
Oh, 100%. Everywhere I went. That's why the UFC, when you go to a UFC fight, you go to the prelims, there's nobody in there. It's absolutely empty until the last 5 fights.
I really noticed that during the Ronda Rousey fight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't believe it, dude.
Right. But even they're all it's the same way. So to have anywhere from 7 to 11 fights is perfect. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And so, but if you're going to do that, they better be exciting fights.
Yeah.
And what did you think of every single fight on that card?
It was great. I got to tell you, it was hard for me to watch Lindsey Valentine that night. It was hard for me. I felt horrible for her. But other than that,
she took on a very tough fight.
Yeah, she did.
And she's super tough. I mean, she took a lot of knees.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, Saturday you'll see the commentating, and I talk about that. I'm like, I would be dead already. Like, that little girl would have beat the shit. I would have already given up.
Sure.
Somebody please throw the towel in. I could not have taken as many knees as Lindsey Valentine did that night. There's just no way.
Yeah. I know, a lot.
And that's the hard, and so that's the hard thing with matching up. Oh, do you want to say something? That's the hard thing with matching up debut fighters.
Yeah.
You do not know how good they really are until
Liam,
they fight. Gemini Cricket, Liam and Ali Abdulrazak.
Wow.
That fight was insane back and forth. I was super excited. So I'm hoping Ali's going to make his pro MMA debut in September. It's either going to be him or Adel Lulek. One of those two is going to be the headliner for the pro.
UFAI showed up in a big way, man.
So did Combat Fitness. Ludus Combat with Nathan Donor. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you I was watching that live when he flipped him. When he did that sweep at Logan Loftus, to see a grown man flip that high in the air. There was so much momentum.
There were a lot of fans there too.
Oh.
Who was that one guy that had all of his buddies?
He is a UVM, I believe he's a medical student.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Did you see how sharp he was?
He must have had 30 friends there.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
Yes.
They were worked up, man. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
All right.
So we'll do it again.
All right. September.
What else did you want to talk about? Did you want to talk about any home improvements on this holiday weekend? What did you want to talk about?
Well,
we talked a little bit.
Here's the thing, man. And I want to do a podcast episode just about this at some point really soon. Because I have a couple of people who have reached out to me. And I don't want to drop names right now, but they have told me about some of the scam construction companies that are out there.
Yeah, a couple of the guys.
And not just
one of them just moved to Florida. He was always in the paper and stuff. That kid he's in Florida now.
Not just construction companies, but individual people who are showing up saying, give me 50% now or give me 20% now and I'll get the materials ordered and I'll come back and do this.
And see, that's hard because that's what everybody does. You go and you get your material money up front. But so what I tell people is this. When you hire somebody, depending on the size of the job, hire somebody that has the resources to fix it out of their own pocket if they fuck it up. Okay? So if
also find someone who's licensed and
they don't. No, they don't. They don't have. They don't have
licensed
a
and
license.
registered with the state of
you
Vermont.
You want to make sure. Well, that's just your.
How do you find out if they're legit?
That's hard in Vermont.
Insurance?
Yeah, they'll have. Everybody has insurance. Anybody can go and get insurance, and they fool you with that. They're like, I have $1 million insurance. Well, I have $5 million in insurance. But what they don't tell you is that's general contractors insurance. So it doesn't cover shoddy work. If somebody comes up and builds your barn upside down, their insurance company is not going to pay for it. That's on you. And I don't think a lot of homeowners realize that. So that's what I tell them. Whether you hire me or not, I don't care. But just make sure for the size of the job that the people you are hiring, if you have a guy, just for example, and I'm not bashing in any way, shape, or form, but if you have a guy that's driving an old truck, living in low-income housing, and he says, I can do your whole roof for $20,000 and everybody else is $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, what happens if your roof leaks? What happens if it's a complete failure? The guy has $1 million in insurance. Means nothing. Means absolutely nothing. You need to make sure that the person that is doing the work has the resources to fix it. And I'll tell you what, even in my own...
But how do you do that? How do you make sure? How do you know?
So do you have one of your listeners? I did her roof, and I made the mistake because I grew way too fast really quick. And so I had crews going all over the place. And I was at the point where I was so busy, I wasn't even going to the jobs to measure them anymore. I was using Google Earth to look down at the job and just do it. So I bid her roof. My guys went. I was like, guys, here's the address. Go do it. No problem. Had the materials delivered. They went up. They did it. A couple weeks later, she called me. Roof's leaking. No way. It's a brand new roof. I know the guys that did it. They're really good. And I asked him. I said, hey, man. She said the roof's leaking. He said, probably is. He goes, there's 5 layers up there sagging like a bastard, holding water everywhere. I was like, there's layers? He goes, yeah. He goes, but you told us to go up and it was a recover. I was like, oh, my God. So I went back. You can ask her. I went back. I stripped her entire roof, plywooded it, and roofed it out of my pocket. No cost to her. Because that was the right thing to do. I've made mistakes on big jobs, and I've come straight with the customer. Whew. I fucked this up, and I am going to make it right. I just don't have the resources to make it right now. Let's work this out. I could trade with you if you buy the materials. I'll fix it, and I'll give you extra labor somewhere else. Those are the things you have to do in order to make it right and keep your name when it comes to building. Because we're all human. We're going to make mistakes. And if you're not right there on the job all the time, that's when the mistakes happen. And you have to take responsibility for those mistakes. Don't blame them on your customer. But when as a customer, just if you want to give a new guy a new chance and you think he's young, give him a small job and have them do that. Make sure see their work ethic, see how they bill you, see if they're desperate for money. Do they need to get paid at the end of the day?
Yeah. Oh.
That guy that needs the money at the end of every day does not have the resources to fix something if it's screwed up.
Yeah. Barslow Construction on Facebook is a great point too. That's where you should go. Check it out. Man, you guys have been a sponsor for a long time.
Yeah.
And Donnybrook Fight Promotions.
Well, hopefully we get we are working on an advertising budget for Resilient Defense Institute also.
Sweet.
So you'll probably be seeing that on here shortly.
I love what you're doing, man. I love what you're doing. Our community loves what you're doing.
I like doing it.
It's gonna be great, man.
I like doing it. That was the one thing I missed when I left my prior gym was just not having that impact on kids in the community.
Youth. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And what a great partnership with Washington County Mental Health.
Yeah.
My God, man, that's so cool.
Yeah, they've been great. You right through with Dante.
Yeah.
You know, and now the people that work for them, because like Ryan was talking yesterday, Ryan Fennelly down at SIG, and he's like, it's a community. This is about getting together and spreading jiu-jitsu in a positive way through the community.
Yeah.
Using jiu-jitsu to impact your life.
Yes.
You know, because in jiu-jitsu, you have to get humbled. There's
Yeah.
no fucking way around it.
Yeah.
If you're out and you're, like yesterday, I was in a room with so many high-level black belts, and I had such a great time. They were trying to kill me. They were trying to, they were trying to unalive me. They were trying to separate my bones from my body. It was great. I had so much fun.
The next time you show up here at 9:30, you're going to be unalived.
Yeah.
You understand me?
I got to find that message.
You understand me?
I just got so many messages. It's just hard.
Do you understand?
It's hard to find that just that one.
Are you listening?
Admit when you're wrong. I was wrong. Growth, baby.
Love you, buddy.
Love you, man.
Big love to Athena, too.
Yeah.
Very well behaved this morning. Thanks, Rex.
All right, buddy.
Happy Memorial Day. Don't forget, 11 o'clock, Elks Lodge, the big ceremony. Ron Tallman, Barry Area Veterans Council. They're all going to be up there doing a big ceremony. It's going to be awesome. All right? 11 o'clock.